In Godfather of Harlem Season 4, Episode 4, Union Blues, the stakes rise dramatically as Bumpy Johnson faces organized opposition that threatens his credibility, financial empire, and vision for a better Harlem. This episode combines criminal tension, political action, and personal issues to create a rich tapestry of power struggles and moral quandaries that reflect the volatile nature of the age. Bumpy's intention to create a new jazz club is central to the tale, serving as a physical and symbolic representation of Black ownership and growth in Harlem. However, his plans are thwarted when construction is abruptly halted owing to a union strike. On the surface, it looks to be a workers' issue, but Bumpy soon understands it is far deeper and considerably more deliberate. The walkout is being planned by the Italian mob, which still controls many of the city's labor organizations. Despite Bumpy's continued efforts to break free from their grip, this decision sends a clear message: they still consider Harlem part of their territory. The episode does a job of capturing the complex interactions between Bumpy and the Italians. He wants to create something respectable that cannot be taken away from him through slaughter or backdoor agreements. Legitimacy, however, is difficult to get in this metropolis. To end the strike, Bumpy must negotiate with unscrupulous union leaders and face Vincent Gigante, who uses the labor unrest as leverage to entice Bumpy back into their game. These scenes highlight the fragile balance of power in New York's underworld, as well as how systemic corruption is used to maintain racial and economic hierarchies. Meanwhile, Elise Johnson maintains her independence, not only from her father's heritage, but also from the entire criminal society that surrounds him. Her storyline in this episode is based on politics. When a fellow Black Panther Party member is arrested during a protest, Elise takes the initiative and posts bail, putting reputation in danger and making her a target for others. It's a bold move, but not without consequences. Through Elise, the show delves into the contradictions between radical political movements and institutional power, as well as the personal sacrifices demanded by individuals who strive for justice. Her advocacy is more than simply political. It is extremely personal, as she seeks to establish a new path for herself, free of the violence and criminality that dominated her background. Elise's growing participation with the Panthers also widens the generation gap between her and Bumpy. He admires her strength but is doubtful of the movement's success and concerned about her safety. Their opposing worldviews mirror greater generational tensions in the late 1960s, when elder Black leaders sought economic empowerment through traditional means, while the youth desired quick, dramatic change. In a separate storyline, Frank Lucas finds himself in hot water following Cowboy Nick's murder. Frank has always been a methodical player, working his way up to being a kingpin in his own right, but this episode demonstrates the cost of such desire. With the murder gaining attention, Frank must hustle to manage the damage and demonstrate his allegiance to Bumpy, all while keeping his own future plans intact. The scrutiny he's facing threatens to undermine everything he's built and forces him to confront the brutal reality that loyalty in this world is conditional and unstable. The episode's title, Union Blues, is loaded with significance. It represents not only the real union strike, but also the fragmented connections and alliances that flow throughout the episode. Everything, from labor unions and political alliances to family bonds and neighborhood loyalty, is under strain. The blues signify the cost of development and the emotional toll these power battles have on individuals involved. Stylistically, the episode sticks to the show's rough image and period details. The music, costume, and set design perfectly depict late 1960s Harlem, while the screenplay maintains high-stakes and morally nuanced characters. Whether Bumpy negotiates in smoky back rooms or Elise rallies Panthers in jail corridors, Godfather of Harlem continues to produce nuanced storytelling that combines historical truth and engaging drama. Finally, Union Blues highlights a defining event in the season. The episode brings each character closer to the edge: Bumpy in his search for independence, Elise in her radicalization, and Frank in his silent rebellion. Everyone is asking themselves the same question: how far are they willing to go to safeguard what they believe in? Thank you for watching.